Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel to another Swiss 005 video. Today we are not in our mobile flight simulators, but instead today we are in my PC. So we are actually in a browser flight simulator, and this one is called GeoFs. And it's actually really good for a browser. This is way above all the browser flight simulators there are. So this is GeoFS. It's the best browser flight simulator here in Google Chrome, and I am in Google Chrome on my PC. So yeah, so you actually have a lot of planes for free to try. No, not to try. You get to actually fly these planes here in the flight simulator. But if you want like the full graphics, like how in Microsoft Flight Simulator there is, you have to pay £9 or £10 per year to get this graphics. Like here there's an asphalt jet, and here there's a Cessna 172, and yeah. So now enough with the introduction. Now let's get into the flight simulator by clicking fly. So yeah, sorry, the sound was way too high here in the flight simulator. So we are actually gonna be flying the A380 for last. So there is actually an A380 here with so many liveries, but first we are gonna go with a Cessna Piper Jet Red. We're not gonna be here in this in Shanghai, but instead we are going to my hometown, Chicago, Illinois. So here you have an actual live map with the real players flying here in the flight simulator. And also my brother Swiss009, if you haven't viewed his channel, please go subscribe to him. He's actually doing a video on this today with me. So we are planning to do a multiplayer at one airport, and we are going to be racing each other in an airliner. Not these kind of Piper Jets, but an airliner. So we are first going to land here at Illinois. So we have to go to Illinois. That's in the United States, and here we should see Illinois here. So here, and then there's Clinton, and then we should be finding it's to Springfield because I was born here at 36 Abraham Lincoln. So now let's set this as approach, and let's remove the navigation, and let's go into the cockpit view because yeah, I muted the sound here because it's very noisy. So here we are in the Piper Jet. There's no landing gears needed, and let's shift the flaps if there are any flaps here in this plane. Yeah, there aren't any flaps here in this plane. So this is a wing view of the Piper Jet, and here's the cockpit. It's actually pretty cozy in here. So this is kind of like the Wright brothers planes. Okay, now we are going off course, which we are not supposed to do. And if we are in a stall, it would tell here on the top stall. So I'm actually trying to make the plane stabilize, and I'm trying to increase the speed to max. So we are currently at max speed, and the plane is going nuts, really nuts. So I have to try to equalize the weight distribution on both sides of the plane. So here we are coming in for a landing here at Chicago, Illinois. So yeah, I muted it because the sound of the engines were too loud. Okay, yeah, I have to equalize the plane. So now let's reduce the throttle to 0. And yes, this is a really old flight plane, I mean. So there's brakes, and here we are. So we're currently dead here in the flight simulator. So now let's move on to another airport and another place. So yeah, so let's get, why not, let's try now, since we have tried out a prop plane, let's try an Embraer. So where's Embraer? Here. Embraer. Oh my god, it's so hard to just collect the Embraer. So here we are in the flight simulator. So now let's actually go to another airport, which is not in here, but let's go to San Francisco, because I live here in San Francisco now. So here, there's lots of planes here, so that must be San Francisco. Wait, which airport is this? There are so many players here at this airport. This is San Francisco. Okay, so I'll take the Canal San Francisco approach. So here we are. Let's bring up the gears. Let's go to cockpit view. And it shows that there are lots of people here. Yep, as I expected, there are so many people here. There's one person named United 835 Heavy. He must have taken off. Oh, there's a tower. So it's a 4 towers. So now let's try to land this plane, because I got clearance to land here at San Francisco. And all the planes, all the people with no names are called Foo. There's a Singapore Airlines 99, and there's a plane coming for me for takeoff, and I think that's an Airbus A380. Yep, I wonder what that A380 is doing. Foo is there. Let's try to butter this landing here. And the Emperor. Okay, that was really hard. So in this plane you don't have reverse thrusters or brakes. And I just hit the replay button, which we don't want. So now that we have buttered this landing here in the flight simulator, and yes, this is really luxurious here. Now let's move on to a Boeing 737, and at a different location. So here, not in San Francisco, but now all the people have magically disappeared to nowhere. Did everyone like leave the simulator or something? So there's one person named Fu who's flying here. So now let's actually go to and still the same. Let's go to Florida, Orlando. Let's go to Orlando in Florida. So there's Tampa. Orlando should be here somewhere. There's Wilson, Florida, Spring Hill, Orlando.